Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now, this is What If Female Deku was a gang leader, part one. Before we begin our What If, just a warning label. This What If series might contain strong language, violence, and gore. So, it's gonna be a lot of things I normally don't do. A lot more graphic content's gonna be in this because of the how I have the story is and how it's set up, and it's a villain what if, so I have to make this a lot more brutal than my hero stuff. So that's pretty much about it. And if you guys haven't checked my community tab yet, I'll be making two what ifs today. This one, and I'll do another part of my Dark Hero Deku. That's for guys you don't know what that is my version of my version of a Zelda, mixed with Hero Academia. What if I take Izuku out of Hero Academia and put them into the Zelda universe, and it's an interesting story. I after this episode, I'll think more on what I'm going to do. I have an idea, but I need to set up some things for that scene. So, but let's not talk about that for right now. Let's get on to our episode or part, whatever you like to call it. As where we last off, where Toga had a knife against, Izumi's throat. As Toga finds out it's, Izumi, as did she did what she did in the last episode. As Izumi's like, seriously, Toga, why are you sitting in the dark? As we have lights, as we have power, so she shuts on the lights. And she's like, sorry, I I was going to, but I heard someone trying to. I heard someone coming in, so I wasn't sure if it was you or not. We'll deal with that. As Toga jumps on the chair. So what's the plan? What's our next What's our next plan, sis? As Izumi, for starters, we need to lay low. We did kind of butcher your family, so the cops are gonna. Eventually, the cops are going to find out. We weren't being very we weren't being very delicate about it. So we need to lay low. I need to. What we need to do is get out of the city. So I'll be guess I'll be going back. As Toga's like, what do you mean going back? Oh, going back to work. And she's like, you work? I'm like, yeah. How do you think I afford this place? It's a it's a one studio single apartment that's in the city. As Izumi spends her time when she's not at her apartment, earning money, hustling people at bars, at the pool table and darts, as she occasionally does, a couple DJ jobs. Let's just spice it up a little bit. As Izumi has always been good in manipulating people to do what she wants. Ever since she's went to therapy, she learned quite a lot from the therapist. A way to how normal people act and how she got what the information sorry what she got out of the sessions is how to manipulate people further, how normal people would act and how she would act, and she would not make the same mistake she did as a little girl when she had a little incident with that cat, the family house cat. She does this routine for about a week or two, let's say about 4 weeks. As the cops did, someone did call a complaint. There's a Eventually someone did make a complaint as the cops, investigate the house, as they didn't see much but ash. But eventually they did an investigation, and judging by the witnesses' reports, they gave a profile to what happened with the profile from the witness report from the bystanders witnessing the scene, as they give a brief description of Toga and Izumi, but not enough to get a legit substack. Legit profile on these two. All the cops know it was they might be involved at a older. Well, they believe is they give out the description of Izumi as they see her. She looks older than the blonde that she walked out with, but not by much. So they're looking at doing an investigation of kids, school wise, someone around that age, and they're doing the normal cop stuff. During this time, she decided to stay away from her mom because she knows she's nothing but bring her mom trouble. So she stays away. She keeps a close eye on her mom, but she stays away. Doesn't really understand why her mom kicked her out. She doesn't see the big deal. But she has other more important business she has to take care of. As one day, after she got back hustling some, people at the bar, got loads of money, just milked them for their worth. She acted like, she didn't know how to play pool. Then she started betting. Then they thought, they could get, something out of this outside of money. But no, she basically robbed them. So as she sees that, sorry, I said a lot in that last part on accident. Sorry, guys. As she sees a group of guys harassing a, a girl with black hair, has a guitar, as she has some sort of earphones, for her ears. As Izumi's like, huh, that must be her Quirk. And it's like, I think I have enough time to have some fun. As she stretches, cracks her knuckles. As she slowly walks over to them. As she sees a lead pipe. Oh, sorry. Ignore the girl picture or the chick in the picture. But what she's carrying is what the crowbar, the pipe that she picked up, looks like. It doesn't have the chain yet. She'll add that in later on. But as she picks it up, as Jiro is telling him to leave her alone, as she's like, "Can't you just leave me alone?" As the man raised his hand to smack her, as all Jiro saw was the man hit the ground hard as he gets hit by the side of the head with a metal pipe. As he's not dead, but he's going to have a concussion when he wakes up. It's like, I didn't kill your friend, but he's going to have one nasty hangover when he wakes up. So it seems like you boys like to get handsy. We can't have that. You're old enough to be her dad. That won't do. That won't do at all. I'm going to have to discipline you all. As she uses her telekinesis, crushing their bones in their hands as they scream. It seems like you like to get handsy, so I took away your use of those. The use of your hands as they're screaming. As they're screaming out loud, that's quite disturbing even for Jiro. When your friend wakes up, if I see you harassing this young girl, I'll end you all. Do I make myself clear? As they nod, good. As, hope there, what's going on? As, a pro hero comes. As Izumi's like, as she, pro hero sees her with a crowbar. As the pro hero sees the pure brutality of what she did to these people. And she's like, I would love to sit and check, but I got a bill. As she runs off, as the hero pursues, telling her to hold. I have questions for you. As Izumi flicks him off. As, the hero chases her down the alleyway. As Izumi jumps over the wall. As the hero jumps over the wall. When he lands, Izumi uses her quirk to slam the dumpster right into the hero, knocking him out, slamming him to the wall, pinning him to the wall. As Izumi stops. Sorry about that, Mr. Hero, but don't need one of your lot chasing me down. As Izumi jumps back over the wall, as she goes back over to, Jiro. As he's, don't worry. Don't worry, kid. The hero's not dead. He's just sleeping. You should be careful around this neighborhood. It's not too safe, especially this time of night. As Jiro's like, oh, thanks, sir. No problem. Catch you later. As, she walks off. As a few minutes later, the hero stumbles back and she's like, where did that girl go? As Jiro points down the way she went, as the hero, try to chase down Izumi, but Izumi's long gone. As Jiro's like, who the fuck was that chick? She's kind of cool. As, she liked how she did things. Kind of brutal, but I like her style. As she goes off and does her own thing. As Izumi walks into a store, as she walks up to the person at the register, I'm looking for a knife. What are you looking for, ma'am? Something unique. As she picks up a set of knives, as she pays for it, thank you. No problem, miss. Just be careful with those. Those things are quite dangerous. Of course. I'm quite responsible. As she pays for it, as she goes home, as Toga, is pouting, you're late. Sorry, Toga, but I ran into a little bit of trouble. A hero, but I took him out easily enough. Oh, I have something for you. You've been such a good little girl. As she tosses her, as she hands her the knife, as she smiles. I told you I would give you a gift. And Toga, rushes over there, hugs Izumi. It's like, yeah, I love him. I can't wait to bloody him. I know you do, Toga, but calm down, calm down. First, we need to get out of the city. We've already caused enough trouble as it is. We'll be leaving in 4 days. I have enough money for us to get there. And enough money to live for about a couple weeks. As, time progresses, Izumi does a couple more, hustle jobs and a couple more DJ jobs during that time frame to get more money as they finally go to another city. As she finally gets to another city, by chance, this city has two major factions that split the territory. A unknown gang that's pretty sized because of the amount of territory he controls, but the other side is Overhaul's group, the Yakuzas. The Yakuzas in this gang have like an understanding. They have deals. They meet every month. So to avoid turf war, because that would bring attention to the heroes, and that would interrupt business. So they both agreed on this. As this place is shitty, like it's the slums. It's Not all the territory. It's slums, but there's a good portion of slums in this city. The part of the city this unknown gang operates. As you have Izumi, as they get to the city, as it's a utter dump. It's like, well, this is our home for right now, Toga dear. Let's go. Let's go hit the hotel. Then, then we'll look for a place. Then we'll. Then I should have enough money for us to stay for a little bit. Then we can figure out what we're gonna do afterwards. As you know, they stay in the hotel as Izumi found a cheap place to live with Toga. As Izumi, does her normal thing as Toga explores the city on her own, as Izumi hits the bars to hustle people out of money. She's quite good at it. As one day, she came across an orphanage. She didn't think much of it until big black vans come piling up at the back of the orphanage as she checks it out. She's that's not normal. Let's check this out. Maybe it's some fun. As she sees a group of, these thugs drag out kids as they throw them into the van. I don't fucking think so. Hell no, that's not happening. As she calls Toga, we have it. Meet me. Um, as she gives her the location, as Toga appears, as they're transferring a lot of kids. As Toga's like, what's going on, sis? Apparently, the people that run this apparently territory, by judging what I've been overhearing at the bars, these guys run half of the city. Other half is run by the Yakuzas. I don't have much on them at the moment, but I'll find the information. I always do. But these scum need to go. We're going to follow them to their operation. Then we're going to locate where their main base is, and I'm going to eradicate them. As Izumi gets a grin. As Toga, gets a grin too as well. As they follow the van on the rooftops, as they get to a warehouse, as they're transferring all the kids into trailers, metal trailers that they could ship overseas for human trafficking, as they're trafficking not only children but young women as well. As Izumi sees the scene, and she's like, "Yep, they all need to die. Toga, come on, we're leaving no one alive. Outside of the poor, unfortunate people here. We're moving out. After all, you always want. After all, you haven't used your new knives, have you? Nope. I've been dying to test them out. All means, test on." As she does a gesture for Toga to jump down, as Toga starts tearing these gang members to shreds, as Izumi is crushing their skulls with telekinesis, as she crushes the brains of several people as she fries the rest with her silver fire quirk. As she does it extreme prejudice, she doesn't leave anyone alive. As the whole junk not Kogo sorry, I give me a second. Cargo hold is covered in blood. As Izumi breaks open the locks, as she has, she releases all the people that were about to be shipped off to God knows what fate. would lead to them to. As get lost. As everyone runs out, Toga jumps down. That was fun, sis. So what's next? What's next is we need these people. They need to be gone. Let's stake out this area first and wait for them to see the carnage. Then follow them back to their main headquarters and slaughter them. Are you up for it, Toga? Of course, sis. Sounds fun. As they stake out the cargo, they stake it out till the gang, check up on their operation as they see the prisoners gone and all their men butchered. As they call back to the main base as Izumi follows them. So it's Toga. As it's like they have they have this gang are living straight up in a mansion. They're having a good life. Huh. Toga, take care of the snipers on top. Fucking cowards using guns. That's the coward's way of doing things. I fucking hate guns. And don't be gentle with them. Make them suffer. Yes, sis. As she jumps off to take off the sentries all around the manor. As Izumi walks up to the gate, rips the gate's door off the gate using telekinesis. As she slams it against a car, as a car alarm goes off, as Izumi walks up to the manor, as several gang members come pulling up with guns, as Izumi blasts them with fire, as she single-handedly, killing anyone that gets in her way. The gang leader comes out from upstairs as he walks down to the main hallway of the house, the entryway, as he's like, "You have a lot of nerve, girl. Coming to my tower and trying to fuck with me, you're dead. Kill the bitch." As they both aim at her gun, as they open fire, as the bullets, stop, as she, as the bullets turn around, as they shoot back at all the gang members, all the people that were shooting at her, as she does vaporize the gang leader from that spot on, killing him with her fire quirk, just vaporizing nothing left, cranking up to the max. As all his men were shocked. From day on forward, you work for me. You have two choices. You could either obey or die. Your choice. I'm waiting, boys. I'm not a very patient woman. Time is money. As they agreed allegiance. Very well. There's going to be changes around here, boys. I want to know all your operations, what you got going on, and what type of deal you have with the Yakuzas. There will be cuts. This whole human trafficking, it stops. And this whole drug trade you got going on with the Quirk enhancers, boosters. Is that the street name for it at least? It stopped as well. That's a coward's way out. And there will be no guns. All guns will be dismantled and destroyed. Do I make myself clear? Only pussy uses guns. And if you break these laws, you will be punished severely. I'll make an example out of you. Do I make myself clear, boys? Understood, ma'am. Good. Bring me the intel I want now. Yes, ma'am. It's took us like, so what? Sis, are you sure you want to do this? Might as well, Toga. I need this. I need them. They're a good tool to use. What I have planned for the future. What do you mean, sis? The Hero Society? It needs to go. It needs to be gone. We need to bring back the old times. The golden years where heroes save people because they want to, not because they want money or fame. Just because it's the right thing to do. Don't get me wrong, I don't like or dislike heroes, but it needs to go. A new system needs to be put in place. So far, the change will not happen until someone makes it happen. So I'm going to be that person. As we go through 2 week time skip, during this time, during this 2 weeks, Izumi's new territory run with blood for 2 weeks straight. She did get most of the religions, but there were some of the gang leaders the gang members of this group that were totally loyal to their boss. So they pushed back, and the streets rained blood for 2 weeks straight. When heroes saw the carnage, they lost their stomach. In Night Eye, it's not placed into Night Eye's not located in Izumi's territory. He's located in Overhaul's territory, where he has his base at, or whatever. He likes to keep track of Overhaul, and he did not notice Izumi's power play. That that went under his notice. As we go a year time skip, as the moment she took the territory and learned what operations going, cut cut some operations that she will not be a part of, and establish a very secretly highly effective information gathering system, because people tend to not look at the lost and the forgotten. So she uses the invisible people, the people that don't get noticed, to gather info. As she gathered info on everyone that she could get her hands on. So she knows of Overhaul. She doesn't know how he makes his stuff, but she's gonna look into that further on. She knows of this. She knows of the League of Villains. She heard rumors of All for One in his abilities. So she's keeping an eye on him as well. The League of Villains. Also, the Liberation Army. She knows of their existence too, but she's keeping an eye for them. They're not causing her any trouble. They're outside of her territory, so she doesn't care. All she cares about keeping her territory nice and tidy. As she immediately implemented a no conflict rule. During this year skip, she took over everything from the police department that's in her territory. Outside of the civilians, she allowed the police force to use guns because she knows they have to do their job, and plus with Quirks, yeah, they do need guns, so she allows it. And how she gets money from how she gets income for her organization now is she takes a profit cut from all businesses that runs in her territory. She gets a 15% cut, 15% cut every 3 months. So she doesn't take all their profit, but she takes a little amount every 3 months, so she could keep things running. And she also sells information to, people that are requiring such information. She's became a quite info broker, and she uses the information she has gathered to strengthen her territory and her in her gang. As she came across someone with unique skills that is very valuable to her. She has the ability to control rats. So she had she used her quirk to relay information to her at all times. Every time she has messages on the rats to Izumi when she's not in her territory, so she knows what goes on in in her territory at all times. She knows who comes in, who comes out, who's caused trouble, and who doesn't, and she disciplines them publicly. As she took very close care to the orphans. From from that day over, she took over the the people in her territory start calling her the Bloody Empress, as that name she'll adopt for her villain name. And everyone else in her territory refer her like in public. They when they interact with her, they call her mother because she treats her people in her territory as family. She treats them nice, but as long as you don't break the rules. Once you break her rules, she will punish you, depending on what rule you broke and what the severity of what you did. She's a good leader, but she's not weak. She knows when someone needs to be punished, and she has blocked out all heroes from entering her territory. Each time a hero would come in, cause trouble, they would find him dead and thrown outside of her territory. Just toss it like it was a piece of trash. When Overhaul when Overhaul was waiting for the gang leader to show up for his monthly meeting, he never showed up. So that got him concerned. So he looked into what's going on the other side of the city. As he heard whispers of the Bloody Empress, as he got intel like the guy told Overhaul the brutality of it, how she just took over out of the blue. This girl came out of nowhere and massacred anyone that opposed her. As it only in record time, she took complete control of the area. Everything's under her control in her part of her territory. As she's been slowly improving the city on her territory, improving buildings, improving, the life of the citizens. She's slowly turning the slums into, a respectable part of the city. And when she operates outside her city, she bribes the heroes to look the other way. So, because most heroes are all about wealth, they take it. So she hasn't came across any powerful heroes not far into ranking. She won't be able to bribe anyone higher up on the hero scale, but she only deals with she's only had to deal with minor heroes, so she never had to deal with anyone like Azawa or a Racerhead. Sorry, like a Racerhead and or Endeavor or All Might. Now, she doesn't like All Might or like him or dislike him. She respects his position. She highly respects the number one ranking itself. She respects his power. when it comes down to it. During this time, during her doing her normal gang leader business, her daily routine, as Overhaul did send her a message, they want to meet. They have much to discuss. As she brings Toga along, as Overhaul and Izumi set a neutral location. As Overhaul walks in, as they're at the warehouse, as Overhaul introduce myself, I am Overhaul. Well, people just call me Overhaul. It's it's traditional for to introduce yourself. It's manners, of course. You understand. And it's Izumi's like, my name is Izumi, aka the Bloody Empress. What do you want, Overhaul? I don't know how you think how things run here, but me and the old leader have a symbiotic relationship. He offers occasional, test subjects and allow us to sell my products on his territory. It's an even cut between us. I wish to offer that same deal towards you, Bloody Empress. As Izumi lights a cigarette up, as she puffs, as she inhales the smoke, as she blows it out, she blows out her mouth. As she's like, no, not going to happen. As Overhaul, why? It's a good deal. I have no interest in doing that kind of operation. I refuse to be involved in trafficking children, and especially selling those things that you call enhancers. That's a coward's way to go about it. And judging by how you operate, you're nothing but cowards. As she points to their guns, only cowards use guns. You don't have true strength. It's pathetic. I'll tell you how things. I'm gonna tell you how things are gonna go. Overhaul, you stay on my territory, and I don't have to kill you. Because if you don't heed my warning, I'll single handedly dissect your organization, and I'll let you watch. Then when I finally broke your spirit, I'll kill you. And a word of advice, fancy pants, don't piss me off. You'll live longer. See you around. As she walks out, Overhaul gets pissed. As Overhaul is like, as Overhaul, wants to take her out. She doesn't. Yeah, he could tell like she's gonna be trouble. That bitch needs to go. Hire someone to get rid of her. Yes, Overhaul. As that progressed, as a couple days has progressed, as Izumi got notice. Well, she knows someone into her city, as she's there personally to greet them. As it's Overhaul, as he's a lot of group of people. As he was like, apparently you didn't listen to my less. Apparently you didn't listen to my advice. You need to be punished. Izumi sees someone around her age. Well, exactly, Well, yeah, let's say he's like maybe I think they're around the same age because yeah, okay, well, whatever. As she sees a guy with a black trench coat, with a white shirt, with some pants, with black hair, as his stitches over his face, as Dabi's like, so is this the one you want to get rid of? Yeah, that's her. Kill the bitch. It's like, as long as you pay me, I don't care. You better be good for your. You better be good for it. Or sorry. You better be good for it, because if you stiff me, you're dead. Just shut up and kill the bitch. That's what I pay you for. You should have took my deal, bloody empress. Now you die. As she waves her hand as all the civilians, go back inside. Very well, Overhaul. I'll beat down your little puppy, your little hired help. I hope you don't make this disappointing for me, newcomer. As Dabi's like, we'll see. Wonder how long you last. I see a knight's fire in his hands. Huh, a fire user. Now this has got a bit more interesting. As Dabi throws fire, as Izumi, throws fire back, as their blast collides, as there's the shockwave from the blast rattle the windows from each side of the street, as they're straight up having a Quirk battle in the middle of the street. As Dabi's like, I gotta admit, this chick's pretty good. As he's trying to push, as he unleashes fire even harder than before, as Izumi is just walking towards him, casually, pushing him back. As she sees a fire hydrant, as she rips it out of the ground, as water starts spraying out it. She rips out of the ground with her telekinesis, as she uses the telekinesis to spray water on Dabi. As that, stopped his fire use for a couple seconds, because that took him by surprise. By then, Izumi rushed in, through whatever fire that was still being let out, knees him into the stomach, hard, as she nails him straight in the face, knocking Dabi out. Overhaul's furious, useless piece of trash. Men, kill her. As he noticed his men aren't, they're not doing anything, as he looks around, as all his men are dead. As, what the hell? What do you do, bloody empress? As Toga comes from behind Overhaul, as she's like, I think you've done enough. Big sis, tell me about your little quirk. If you try anything, I'll slit your throat. Let's see you try to heal from that. Very stupid of you, Overhaul. Very stupid indeed. Not too smart on your part. Get the fuck out of my territory. And if I see you again, you're dead. And I'm taking your little toy. He's mine now. As she lifts Dabi up in her telekinesis. If you're still in my territory in 15 minutes, you're dead. As, Overhaul has to force a retreat. As Overhaul was totally embarrassed. He was humiliated by Izumi. As you have Izumi go back to her base, as she goes down to the basement, has the chair set up, as she ties Dabi to the chair, flaps a core canceling collar on him. We're going to stop it there. That's a good spot to leave it off. So there's going to be, a little interrogation little thing going on in the next episode. It depends on how I want to play this. So I hope you guys have a good night and day, judging my time zones. All right, bye.